I hope all is well. This is Chris with That Square Sports Podcast, and I'm here today to talk about the San Francisco 49ers draft grades. Let's dive in. Let's talk about it. So obviously we're going to talk about the wants versus what you actually drafted in this here little thing that I got going on for all 32 teams. And I'm not going to lie, San Fran, you guys are literally the most talented football team in the entire NFL for the past 4 to 5 years, and you have yet to win a Super Bowl. I am pissed the fact that how good you are. Fred Warner, Greenlaw, freaking Trent Williams. Then you got Christian McCaffrey. He's a white running back. Not that color matters, but the boy can play. The man can play. Ayuk, Deebo Samuels. Are you serious? George Crazy Man Kittles. I love when you guys beat Dallas. I'm not gonna lie. I love every second when y'all beat Dallas. But what I'm saying is, San Fran, you're great. Why are you not winning? It's like freak accidents that happen. That's not why you're here. There's a whole other video you can watch about that. You're here to talk about the draft picks. Let's do it. Let's dive into that. So what I said pretty much in the beginning of the video, wants versus needs. Wants are, to me, what I think you guys needed is wide receiver, defensive line, offensive line, and of course defensive back. Defensive back badly. Now, let's see how you guys fared. They gave you guys a B on the NFL Network and on ESPN. I'm going to see where you guys, see where y'all lay at. Ricky Pearsall out of the University of Florida. Great receiver, by the way. Definitely underutilized at Florida. I wouldn't have took him in the first round, but I understand how the cards fell because obviously I believe that you guys probably wanted a defensive back more than anything. Cooper DeJean was still on the board. I see that, but after Quinton Mitchell went away, I can understand you guys probably just went ahead and just made sure you took care of your best bet. Obviously, at this time, you guys didn't know if Ayuk was staying, if Deebo was staying, if everybody's staying. So I can see the sense of urgency to get more weapons for Brock Purdy. I can see that. So I'm not too mad about the pick, but I understand the pick. So it is what it is with that. Defensive back, you pretty much took care of that, like I said you needed. With Rolando Green out of Florida State, who is a solid defensive back. He's he can do it all. he could be a number one if need be. He could be a number two. I think with that great defensive line that you guys have, you kind of can get away with, a little bit lackluster coverage because they know how to get to the guy. Joey Bosa and the boys really know how to bring down the house. I hate the departure of Chase Young, but it is what it is. It's just the nature of the business. But I say that to say this because they can rush and you can just cover it. It's a dream for a defensive back, former defensive back myself. It's a dream just to not say that you have to look over your shoulder and worry about the fact that this quarterback has 9 to 8 seconds to throw the ball when he really has only maybe about 1 or 2. And that's better for that. And this is a great way to introduce Rolando Green to the 49ers, who probably have the best defense in the NFL. Let's just keep it a buck. All right, Dominique Plumlee out of the University of Kansas. I do like this guy. You can kick him out and tackle if you want to. He has the arms and the size. He knows how to sit down and hold that position. Also, he's better at guard. Obviously, that's what you guys drafted him for. I'm not against it. I actually like this pick a lot. I think that he's underrated for the simple fact that he did go to Kansas and they were on a losing squad. But as an offensive line unit, he pretty much pulled the weight. He pretty much had to do what he had to do the entire time while he was there. And he didn't do a bad job. So thumbs up on that one. I think this is more of a steal player for you guys, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Malik Mustapha out of Wake Forest, defensive back. Another player on a bad team who was pretty much the bright spot of the team. I think that he's great, exceptionally well corner. Due to the fact that he did play for Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, it's kind of hard to really home in on this guy and say that he is the true number one defensive back that could be the potential. I could see you guys putting him at a number 2 right away, just for the lackluster of just getting constantly just getting losing every battle. I mean, mostly the battles due to not being his fault. But I will say this, when he was an effective player at Wake Forest, a lot of people did not throw the ball to his side. So pretty much, in a way, he was the number one corner at Wake Forest, if we're going to be honest. It's just Wake Forest was not a good football team. That's really what it is with that. Isaac Guerrero out of Louisville. Obviously, you're going for speed here. I understand. Pretty much need a backup for, obviously Christian McCaffrey, because he will get hurt because, believe it or not, Shanahan does not know when to stop running that boy into the ground. I don't understand why he does that. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is about 28, 29, if I'm not mistaken. So he's at that age where, obviously he's 30, so he could possibly regress. It depends. But, I understand this is more of a running back depth pick. Jacob Cowing out of Arizona, undersized receiver, possession guy, route runner. Not really going to wow you off with speed, but he does find ways to get open. I don't really think this is a bad pick. I think that this is more of a security pick, to be honest with you. We'll just see what he does in the OTAs when I check out the videos for those. By the way, stay tuned for those. But we'll just see. We'll see. All right, Jarnett Kingston out of the University of USC. Fight on Trojans. If you watch the offensive line play that Caleb Williams went against, was it really that good? He might have been a bright spot, but he was a spot on that horrific offensive line. If we watched Caleb Williams run around the Coliseum like his head was cut off every single play, he looked like Pat Mahomes on a run. So in a way, I'm not against it, but like I said, you did need to draft offensive line, basically tackle, because Trent Williams is getting older, and who to learn better from as Trent Williams could teach him specifically himself. So I'm not against this pick at all. I will say this: there were better offensive tackles probably in this round. Well, no, this is the 7th round. But I'm pretty sure you probably could have got an offensive tackle where you took Jacob Cowing at. That's just me. I'm saying what I'm saying. And last but not least, Tatum Bethune out of Florida State, an aggressive linebacker. Part of that undefeated, well, I ain't going to say it's undefeated, but part of that pretty much undefeated team until, of course, Jordan Travis got hurt. Anchor of that defense, that other side of the ball, the middle linebacker. Dre Greenlaw is out mostly probably for this season. I mean, not mostly, pretty much for the good portion of the beginning of the season. So why not have somebody in there? Obviously, once again, you're pairing him with the great Fred Warner, so I don't really see a problem with this pick because you've got such great talent around him that he's going to get better automatically just being in the room with these guys. Now, how did you fare? And like I said, let's talk about it, right? So obviously, clearly the grade rubric, I wanted you guys to draft offensive line, receiver, and defensive back, possibly edge rusher or linebacker. I kind of let you guys have your way on that one. With that being said, you drafted linebacker, so we'll keep that one. You drafted offensive line, tackle, and guard. Thumbs up on that. Receiver and defensive back, both times. 2 of the better received defensive backs. 1 on a really good defensive team, obviously, with LaRondo Green. And, of course, Malik Mustafa, coming out of Wake Forest on a more lower tier team in the NCAA. With that being said, you covered all the bases, so I got to give you an A for that. Ding. I don't have the sound effects on my YouTube channel just yet, so I'm not there, but I'm there. You feel me, fam? Anyways, I agree with this. I like this pick a lot. Now, here's where I start to have a little bit of fun with y'all. Double dipping at receiver, that's great. I like Jacob Cowing. I like Ricky Pearsall. As for Jacob Cowing, I do not think that he fits Shanahan's offense. I would like to see what they do with him. I really don't see the vision, but I'm gonna not harp a grade on it or anything like that because you guys covered all the things that you covered. You need to cover. I think that this draft is an A+, to be honest with you. But I just think that's the only downfall really in this entire draft is Jacob Cowing. Because Jamari Thrash was on the board, Aniyah Smith was on the board. Now, I understand Aniyah Smith is a little bit undersized at receiver. I think that you could have gotten the Joshua Cephas out of UTSA, Texas San Antonio at El Paso. I think you could have got him. No, not El. I'm sorry. Oh, tripping. Texas San Antonio, UTSA. Yeah, University of Texas at San Antonio. Joseph Cephas, 6'2" receiver, good ball that can play. I think that was something that you guys could have used. That's just me on that one because he's more of a number 1 slot receiver. But we're going to see how this pans out because it is what it is. That is the only downfall of this entire draft. I would love to hear your thoughts, San Fran, and stop being the most talented team and not winning a Super Bowl. That is really pissing me off. And I'm not even a fan. So I know you fans probably are tired of that. Yo, tell me what I think. Tell me what you think in the comments and let me know. Peace.